Hi, beautiful people. So, I had a crazy meditation experience yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, the 1010 kind of portal. I didn't even know there was even such a thing as the 1010 portal. So, that's how you know I'm kind of really new to all of this stuff. Um, Kind of with the ascensions, with the kind of energetic effects of just kind of everything. So a lot has been going on for me internally. A lot of core wounds have been coming up for me to be kind of transmuted, to be cleared, cleansed, and worked through. Wow. So I was at Reiki. So since I started my Reiki, I've been assisting Reiki level 1. That has just been kind of a journey in itself, kind of me now not being the student but actually being the master and kind of assisting and people seeing me as this kind of person with, a wealth of knowledge and things like that. It's just been a lot. A lot of stuff just kind of to work through around kind of, do I deserve this? Am I good enough? And all of that stuff there that I'm kind of working through to just be seen and putting myself out there. So so there was a girl there who triggered a lot for me. Her demeanor, just her approach with me, our interactions, it was so powerful. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, to the point she was on my mind for the next couple of days. I was just thinking, did I handle that situation well? Was that okay? Did I do what I should have done? Like all of that second guessing, doubt, regret, all of that kind of stuff. And I just thought, as kind of time has gone on, I'm just gonna kind of just be me and just kind of let that go. It is what it is with that one. But then there's been a kind of another situation with this guy there, and yeah, he's triggered up a lot of stuff in regards to like wounds around kind of choices, being chosen. I guess the only way that I can really explain this wound is really with the Set, Isis, and Osiris kind of story. When kind of Set, Osiris, and Isis are obviously in the womb together, Isis and Osiris obviously have an intimate relationship whilst they're kind of in the womb together. Set is kind of at a distance looking on, brings up a lot of stuff for him in regards to kind of jealousy, all of that which I totally get and understand because I've gone through that bloody experience. Like I've had conversations with Set and I really get Set's story. I really understand his pain. I really understand his resentment. I really understand his jealousy. I really understand his just everything, his initial love for Isis, his, hate towards his brother, all of that. But when in reality, Set is Osiris. They are one of the same. It's just kind of split off, and that's his shadow aspect. When actually, let's say in moments of when Isis and Osiris weren't getting on and they were having arguments, etc., 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 Isis would go to Set and they would have their moments of kind of intimacy, etc., etc. And likewise with Osiris and Set having their moments of intimacy as well, to get each other jealous. Like it was a fucking horrid triangle, like drama triangle. That is the official definition of fucking drama triangle. So that's kind of what I got pulled into, a little bit of that, and it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. It was unbelievable. Like it was uncomfortable watching people and these two people kind of not necessarily be, well actually it was intimate in an astral kind of way. Not that I even really liked the guy that much, but obviously it was bringing up this universal wound for me, that I really had to unpick and really understand and really get to, what the fuck was that about? Why the fuck was I feeling all of this stuff that just logically didn't make sense? So I got to the core wound of me, basically the full on core. And it's almost like, yeah, the wound is not mine. You know, the wound was there before I even was in conception, or, you know, before I was even conceived. You know, that wound was there. So with all of that in mind, and I even had like a meditation experience where I just heard the story of Set just from himself, like what it was for him. And like, he's not even evil, he's not even this kind of real bad guy, this real bad entity. He's so loving, it's unbelievable. And it's a sad love, it's a sorrowful love, because he's never been, no one's ever wanted him, they've just used him to get back at each other. Can you imagine that, being just someone's toy, you know, never actually really being seen for just who you are? So I really did see Set, let's say. I really seen him. I really seen his softness. And his softness was like so beautiful. Even his voice, you could just hear the softness in his voice. Like, it was. And now I just need to remember that all the time when I go into this kind of this, because effectively Set is my ego. That is what this is. You know, Set has been the ego. Set is the ego. When I experience all of these uncomfortable feelings, it's just a mirror of that. In that kind of paradigm. So I then did a meditation. I've been drawn to this tree for a little while, and you know, obviously we're in the seasons have changed. We're now moving into autumn, and you can really see the changes in the air, just with the trees. It's changed. I can feel the change. I can feel the spirits. The veil has dropped. So there's been this tree that just, oh my God, is the picture of autumn for me. But at the same time, is the picture of Venus. When I look at that tree, I see Venus. When I look at that tree, I see autumn. When I look at that tree, I see the heart chakra. It was so all trailing up the tree, the trunk, and on the branches was red ivy. So all of the ivy was red, but yet the tree was still vibrant green, but not dark green, summer green. It's, you know, you could tell that it's sending that power, that energy down to its roots. That's why the tree, the trunk of the tree and the arms were red, because obviously you could see that it's sending all of that energy back down to the roots for let's say the winter time, so it can store that energy to kind of be reborn again in the spring. So I haven't actually meditated in a little while. For personal reasons, my own stuff, I just haven't felt called to kind of go into my own kind of sacred space. But that yesterday I did, and where I went to was the tree, the Venus tree. And so I travelled there, and there was a door there at the tree, of course there was, waiting for me. And I entered into the door, and I went down the steps, and there was almost like I'm inside this kind of redwood log cabin, and I can see that, you know, this glow kind of coming from the outside, this kind of orangey kind of red glow. So, you know, it feels warm. That's with the glow in the cabin, it just feels warm and golden and kind of full of love. So as I go into the cabin, there's a woman that kind of appears in front of me. Well, she was there already, but then she kind of started to kind of manifest in front of me. And she gave her name as Angelina Fire. That name has come through to me before, but at the time in the meditation, I didn't click, it didn't clock who Angelina was. But she was absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness, her hair was like plum, kind of burgundy, long down to her kind of feet into the ground kind of thing. And she just had this kind of golden glow kind of about her, really, kind of red, not red, blue, pink and kind of purple pastel kind of robes. She was just like divine feminine, the divine feminine in all her glory, absolutely stunning. And the thing is, in all of that time that I was there, she didn't smile. She didn't need to. She had this like this look, this stoic, strong, powerful look that just kind of radiated strength. Definitely warrior kind of type. But at the same time, behind that strength, behind that fierceness was such a gentle love. It was literally humming. I could feel it. It was beautiful, and that's all I kind of could really say in front of her. Was like, oh my God, you are so beautiful. I literally just kept saying that over and over again. I was actually in awe of her beauty. Just, oh my God, you're so beautiful, over and over and over again. I couldn't believe it. And she was like, no, you are beautiful. You are so beautiful, kind of thing. It's you. And I've been waiting for you, kind of thing. And I was like, oh my God, me? Me? Really? Kind of still not believing like my worth, kind of thing. And then another lady came through, kind of looking a kind of paler colour, almost kind of like a luminous moon kind of colour, yellowy blue kind of tone to her. But she had like a lilac kind of purple hair. And again, she was beautiful, so beautiful. And it's not even like a sexy beautiful, it is just pure beauty in all its form. And so they were just kind of there, just kind of, we were just happy to almost be in each other's presence. And I really felt the love. And I was kind of ready to kind of come out of the meditation because I didn't really understand what was going on here, what the message was. And it was kind of becoming a bit too intense as well. I think that the overall feeling of kind of love, strength, just that solid, that's what I got from them as well. They were just solid, strong. That's the only way that their energy is so solid, unmovable, unshakable, like you couldn't move them. And so they could tell that I was kind of almost kind of getting a bit, not anxious, but unrestful. So they said, look, before you go, we really need to tell you something. This is really, really important. This is a key. This is your key here, kind of thing. And they said, look around you. Look, have a guess at where you are. And I looked around and like, yeah, I could feel this warmth, this like cocoon kind of feeling, being enclosed within something so warm, so pure, so loving. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in the womb. I'm back in the womb. Like, how is that? Like, that is crazy. How did the tree bring me here to the womb? Kind of thing. At the time, I actually thought I was back in my mother's womb because of a lot of stuff that's been coming up around wounds, around wounds that I've kind of been carrying from, the moment I was in my mother's stomach, from stuff that was happening externally that I picked up and kind of carried and took that as my truth. So I actually thought I was in my mum's womb, but actually I wasn't. I was in the universal womb, the space between that portal, let's say the portal that brings life into the world, and the portal that kind of takes life and sends it back to where its final resting place, let's say, the energy. It's almost this doorway of worlds. And I could see that as that being everyone's doorway, where we all go to have talks with our guides, to have those moments of reflection of our life where we're breaking down, what happened there, where did it all go wrong, just, really taking stock of that past lifetime. That's the room, that's where it all happens. That is the space before we then go off into our kind of next realm, next dimension, next timeline, let's say. So that was massive to have that kind of realization. That was major, because a lot of stuff has been coming up in regards to, core wounds, identity, loss, renewal, retrieval, and kind of standing in your power and being your most authentic self. That's been coming up for me. What it means to be your authentic self. What stops you from being that and becoming that? Is that journey to self kind of actualization. I've met my ego, and I've had a real healing conversation with it, rather than trying to kind of smash it into pieces and obliterate it. I'm holding my ego as a newborn baby for the kind of first time. And can you imagine, that baby has been in the driver's seat for a long time. Now I'm kind of looking after it. It needs much needed kind of healing, so I'm going to give it the time and space that it needs to really heal and to really integrate it back into my higher self. But that's where I am today with my womb codes, let's say, universal kind of messages, etheric messages. I hope that resonated for someone. I hope that was for someone.